Pittsburgh Steeler fans, welcome to a special edition, Sunday edition, taking the place of the post-game show of We Run the North, Q&A. So, we're just here today to talk some football. We're going to answer most of the questions we can get to in the live, as many questions as we can in the live chat. Today, I got with me, filling in for B Dirt. B Dirt's been under the weather. Is Damien and the usual We Run the North co-host, Pay. What's happening, fellas?
What's happening, man?
Good
Glorious
afternoon.
Sunday.
Why is it a glorious Sunday? Your Chicago Bears lost.
We trying to lose. We try to rebuild this thing from the
We
ground up.
we want you to lose.
Yeah, and unfortunately, us losing helps you guys out as well. Thanks a lot, Ryan Poles. Um,
Ryan Poles is the Bears GM.
yes, he's the new Bears GM. He decided to give away what's going to look like a top 40-ish pick for a, some guy y'all was going to toss away anyway. But you know,
We
we'll
we
see.
weren't we weren't going to toss Clay Chase away. We just probably not going to re-sign him to a big money deal that he wants. But you guys get an audition for a year and a half, and you'll get to see if you want to pay him some wide receiver two money.
He dropped that. He dropped what would have been a could have been a game winning pick, catch today. So it's not looking too good so far.
This is his first out. Hey, okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna say, hey, what's up to everybody in the live chat? Ken Brown, what's up, man? Thanks, man. It's good to be streaming again. We've been since the season started because of the post game show. We've been uh relegated to the audio version, which is still fun. We still get to, we're still out there. We come on Saturday at noon, so check us out. But good to see you, Ken. Um, what's up, Ellis? Ellis Smith, man. How you doing? Good to see you.
Ellis, what's up? Going on?
What's up, Javier? Reginald Rivers in Bartlett, Tennessee. Yeah, man. Okay, so we got quite a few people in here with us. You guys ask whatever questions you want. I'm gonna get us started just by asking. Well, just saying this today so far. My thought of this Sunday football is a couple things. The Buffalo Bills can be beat. They're not on this pedestal that we've put them on at the top of the AFC. You can run the ball against them. They can't stop the run. That's the formula to beat the Buffalo Bills. And one other thing I'd say from today is Justin Fields looks pretty good, man. Justin Fields is a true threat. He's coming into his own. You're getting some weapons around him. The Bears are playing a lot better. They couldn't score. I mean, I think they scored 32 today. I mean, they lost, but they still scored a lot of points. The Steelers haven't sniffed 30 points. The Steelers may have only cracked 20 with the first game of the season when they beat the Bengals. I think they had 23 points, but yeah, it's bad for us. But you guys got any takes from today's early games?
Yeah, let me go ahead and expound on that. Justin Fields. The second he decided to you expand his field vision to include his legs, his game took off. Our offense has looked incredibly better, even though it's just from coming from our quarterback running the ball. Um, he's no longer just stapled into the pocket and just looking for guys who's not going to get open anyway. He's becoming to an athlete
Chase Claypool will get open.
and not catch the ball. But in any case, I'm liking the where we're headed in this point right now. And it looks like we may finally have a quarterback. And I haven't said that in my entire life.
Yeah, you haven't
From
because I think you were probably born during the McMahon years, and we've said before that Eric Kramer is probably the best quarterback you ever seen for the Bears.
Eric Kramer or Cal Orton, which is god awful, but I'll take it right now.
Damien, what's up? What you had to say?
I just asked him. I just asked him where his quarterback he likes is from.
Oh,
Oh, the Ohio State, I take it. I don't care where they come from, as long as they put on that navy and orange and ball out.
Absolutely.
Speaking
And, on top of
speaking of Navy and Orange, and you brought up Ohio State, so Navy and Orange as it translates to Big Ten football. You're fighting the line. I blew it yesterday.
Yeah, they had a great chance to play themselves
Big Ten championship game.
into the Big Ten championship game, and maybe, and I dare I say maybe into one of the top four spots, because they still had Michigan on the schedule. So if they just won out, got into that game, you get into the championship game, anything can happen.
Yeah, you win.
So
If you win out, don't lose yesterday, and you beat Michigan, and then you beat an Ohio State team in the playoffs in the Big Ten championship. Yeah. What are you gonna say, Damien?
Kyler,
Oh no, I was just going to compliment Justin Fields on his good decision making. He's always been there. You got to give credit to the Bears coaching staff. They're starting to switch up the offense and cater it towards some more of Justin Fields' talents, and you're starting to see the results a little bit.
Right. No, I'd certainly agree. Uh,
what's going
what's
on, Claude?
what's that name say? One and only.
One and only triple 11.
Okay. Says let's go. TJ coming back after the bye, and TJ is coming back after the bye. And I said on our audio podcast, and even on my Know It All podcast, which, mind you, comes on after we get done with this. So jump on there on the Know It All podcast tonight about 6:15ish, 6:20ish. But yeah, no, I certainly agree. And I've said the Steelers are gonna go on a run, man. I mean, this last 9 games, I got us going. What I predict last week, Pay? You got my receipt? I said 7-2.
You did say 7-2 after the bye. We got that. We taking score on that one. I wish we had got a pick back from one of you all, but so you all can continue your losing ways and we can benefit. But
Well,
what's done is done.
and that's the thing about I don't want to lose, and I don't think the Steelers would try and tank. It's not in the Steelers or Mike Tomlin's DNA. But if we do lose, I mean, we get a better pick behind it. We traded up for a top 10 pick and took Devin Bush. Even I believe even Big Ben was picked in the pick 11. We don't lose like that, so we don't have top 10 picks. If we had a top 10 pick this year, I would be okay with that, because I don't think we're going to the playoffs. So yeah, we finished 9-8, 8-9, and we don't go to the playoffs. Why not finish 5-12 and get a top 10 pick?
I mean, I know you still a nation, terrible towel town. You all not used to this rebuilding thing. I mean, that's been my life for what 10 of the last 15 years. If you tell me my team can get a top 10 pick, I'm like, well, F it, let's go. Stack the wins and let's stack these picks. I know, Pittsburgh isn't used to that. So, just if it happens, embrace it. Embrace the rebuild. Embrace the new era that's coming.
And do well with it, because that's when your front office shines. Look at all the wonderfully high picks the Browns have had and have squandered over the years.
Yeah.
Wow, you would make it. This is we run in North. You would bring in a North team that is terrible at the draft. They did hit on Myles Garrett.
Did they hit on Baker?
They didn't hit on Baker. I mean, you could talk about all the Browns picks going back to when they came back. I mean, they picked Tim Couch over Donovan McNabb. They picked some running back from Boston College named William Green over Clinton Portis. I mean, they have a history of making terrible picks. They trade. They could have drafted Deshaun Watson, but they didn't. They traded that pick. I believe they traded the pick that Houston drafted Deshaun Watson with. I mean, so yeah, the Browns have been making a mess of picks for years, but they have some good ones. Hey, Pay, I know you touched on it, but Claude's our boy, man. He's always around where we at. Go ahead and answer this question. What do you think about that Justin
This how
Fields move.
this is how I'm feeling from that, Claude. This is exactly what is driving me to. You know, we trying to rebuild over here, and we giving away hot picks. You know, thanks a lot.
Well,
They driving me to drink on Sundays.
hey man, I think Chase Claypool pool is going to work out for you guys, like I said before.
Nah,
So do I.
if he does, he does. We still need to pay as much as we did for him.
Okay, lot of people. Hey Felicia, how you doing? A lot of people in the live chat. You can look and see if you guys see any questions. Other than that, did you give your take to what you thought so far today, Damien? Hey, let me just say, and we talked about this. We in the same league, fantasy football league, and out of 12 teams, I'm in 12th place. You guys know I've never been in 12th place before this year. I'm always in the top four. It's really killing me. And I finally had a quarterback score over 20 points today. I traded for Josh Allen a few weeks ago. I traded Josh Jacobs and CeeDee Lamb
Terrible.
for Josh Allen because the person that had Josh Allen. I know you're like,
He's a
who
Bears.
trades Josh Allen?
He's a Browns fan. You speed it up. He's a Browns
And,
fan. Everything explains itself.
and he drafted Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen both. So he had two quarterbacks. So, I was able to get Josh Allen. He scored like 27, 28 points a day. But I'm playing against Joe Mixon, who scored 60 points. I can't catch a break.
Right. Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Right.
Well, my biggest takeaway from so far from the games that I've seen, just to touch on real quick, we'll start with Thursday night. My biggest takeaway is the Eagles were for real.
Why,
Um,
why are we starting with Thursday night?
because we're talking with we went to early games and being an Eagles fan, I just wanted to put out
Aha, that's what I was
my
getting
biggest
at. That's what I was getting at. Now go ahead.
um, that we are looking like the best team in the league right now. There are a couple teams that could probably compete with us, but I think we're looking at with how our run game is and how solid our D is. We're gonna make a lot of noise, barring injury. Everything I always say is barring injury. The second biggest takeaway that I took from it from the earlier games was the New York Jets. I watched that game and they wanted it more. They took it to the Buffalo Bills. They never gave up on the running game. And in the fourth quarter, uh, those running backs started breaking 5, 10, 15-yard plays. And Buffalo, Josh Allen, he had a good game, but he had a couple of bad picks. And when you add couple that with the fact that Wilson didn't have a pick today or didn't have a turnover today, um, and I believe he's
He
found
definitely had,
his.
he definitely had a turnover. He definitely had a
He
turnover.
did have a turnover.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
did?
Oh,
Zach Wilson.
I don't.
He
I,
had
I
a
don't.
he
I
had a
don't remember.
fumble turnover.
Yeah, he did. I believe he did. Look down in the red zone, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
I
okay.
do vaguely remember that. Okay, but yeah, the Jets are for real. When the Jets beat us week 4, I was like, man, what are we doing losing to the Jets? But the Jets have been rolling ever since then, man.
Yeah.
Outside of the game with New England last week,
Yeah. And I picked New England too. I picked that game. I
but
didn't
the
pick the
third
Jets
biggest,
today though.
yeah, and the other biggest thing in the other game that I watched was Detroit beating Green Bay. Um,
I picked
Green
that
Bay
game.
just Yeah, they did. They did not look good. Aaron Rodgers, he
I
definitely
said
was not on his best
I
game.
said Green Bay is not a good team. Green Bay ain't a good team. That's all. I mean, it was
Green
right on display when they went to London. Like, and they had the spread was like 2 touchdowns versus the Giants, and the Giants was never out of that game. Yeah, Green Bay's not a good team.
Green Bay might be the worst team in the NFC North, and the Steelers might be the worst team in the AFC North.
And both
And
of
we
those.
don't, and we don't, and we in both those northern divisions in each conference, we don't expect Green Bay and the Steelers to be the cellar dweller teams in those divisions, but that very well could be this year. But Pay, check it out what Sebastian Sanchez has to say as a Steeler fan. We won because the Bears lost.
hmm hmm don't get too comfortable. The way we're looking now, we might start piling up some wins. You never know. I hope.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
it's not outside the realm of possibility. I mean, our schedule ain't tough. I mean,
You got to
I
play
don't, I
Green
don't.
Bay again.
And what did you just say about them?
That's why I said it.
I can't wait for that game. They just swept us. What two of the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. So
and
we got
and
some
and
payback coming.
and the game before last, I believe the last time when Green Bay won in Chicago, Aaron Rodgers definitely let y'all know it too. I think the words "I own you" was what he said.
Yeah, we're not paying rent this year.
So one and only triple one says looking the Phillies looking like the best team, but the playoffs will tell us who the Eagles are. And
I
I have
agree
to
with
agree,
you.
but I definitely agree with that. But I think the biggest thing about that is the Eagles probably going to be playing at home.
That's fine. The Eagles haven't really been tested yet this season. I mean, if you can look at their schedule, I mean, they playing a bunch of mediocre teams so far,
and
and
we're
they've beaten them, and some of them they've
thank you.
beaten pretty handily. That's as they're supposed to, as a good team should.
Yeah,
However,
let's.
you want to see them press and see
But
how
the
they
thing
come
that
back.
the beauty about us is yes, the playoffs will tell. But I believe that we this is a battle. This is a team that is battle tested. If you look up front, our offensive line, all veterans, all top in the league. It's our skill players. We're young, we're fast, we're quick, and all we needed was for Jalen Hurts to make it go. And that's exactly what he's been doing. That the run pass option, which we've grown to live by, he is working it masterfully. And then when he's called upon to make a play in the passing game, he's been very accurate this year, and that's the reason our record shows it.
I, I've always been a fan of Jalen Hurts. I wanted him. I would see we wouldn't have traded y'all Chase Claypool over there and listened to me and drafted Jalen Hurts in the draft. Was that 2019 or 2020? But yeah, I wanted Jalen Hurts. Claypool went at 49, pick 49. Hurts went at pick 52. But because of Ben or because of whatever else, I think we would be in a better position now, especially since we don't have Claypool anymore. If we had drafted Jalen Hurts and not Claypool, we could have used our first round pick this past year on another position outside of Kenny Pickett because we would have had Jalen Hurts in the fold. But that's just my thought. But Felicia, you are certainly right. It's nice to have a bye, even though I miss Steeler football. No, no heart palpitations or no worrying about anything. Just enjoying the day watching football, not worrying about our team in a nail biter and losing like they have 6 out of 8 games this year thus far. Um, how about I like the Commander's uniform, Jennifer. I did like them the black on black. I like the end zone and I'm here in the DC area, so yeah, I pay a lot of attention to that because people that I'm around and associated with are always talking about the Commanders. But I did like their uniforms today, and they kind of let me know that the Vikings I don't think are a serious threat. I mean, because they were up 17-7 in the fourth quarter and gave that game away. Taylor Heineke throws that interception. They just found a way to squander a win. It could have been like I believe 4 wins in a row for them.
hmm Well, this was definitely a trap game for Minnesota because if you look on their schedule, they've got three of the top teams in the league coming up on their schedule. They got I think Buffalo, um, Philadelphia, and someone else is on this. Oh, Miami, I think. So they probably those
What are you talking about? The Commanders or the Vikings?
Vikings.
Okay.
They probably were looking past Washington for a little bit, but Water's going to find his level with them pretty soon. Because I agree with you, I don't think they're that good.
I mean, I think they got such a start though that they'll win that division.
Well, I mean, easily. I mean, no one in this division, no one in that division is worth it. They've got the win already.
Okay.
Right, and Washington has rallied around Heineke, and they're playing some good ball. Uh, don't it's not beyond the realm of possibility that this year, the NFC East, which is the roughest division, could possibly maybe have four teams make the playoffs.
Get out of here. 4 teams?
All right, we're doing that now.
Hey,
We're doing it now.
hey, I said
That's a big. That's a
if the
big
ship.
G. That's a big G. That's a big G, man. Come on,
well,
man.
All right.
well, hey, think about
I'm expecting the Giants to fall back to earth at some point. I do not expect Washington to get stack up many more wins this year. That leaves what
Dallas and
Cowboys,
Philly.
Dallas and Philly. Yeah, those two are playoff teams. That's it.
Okay.
I said it was within the realm of possibility right now.
I don't
No,
think
I
it's
don't
gonna make no.
believe all
I
four
wanna.
teams
I
will
wanna.
happen,
I wanna.
but I'm giving a credit to the NFC East.
I
It's
want to
too much.
address Felicia's comment because we were going to get into this. A couple of these. She said Tom Brady should just go ahead and retire. He's not himself, but I'm glad he waited because that means Ben can enter the Hall of Fame without Brady still in his shine. Yeah, if they had both retired, Brady stayed retired, they would have went in together because they're both for first balloters. And Brady would have got all the praise heaped on him the whole weekend would have been around him, and Ben would have been way overshadowed. But because Brady waited at least a year, we know Ben can kind of have that year to go in with with a regular class, and he can kind of be the guy everybody's tooting their horn about. But we were going to talk about this though. Are Brady and Aaron Rodgers both washed? Have we seen the best of both Brady and Aaron Rodgers?
Um, those are two different questions. I mean, they get two different answers. No, I don't think they're both washed, but we definitely have seen the best of both of them. Um, Aaron, I think he's closer to Washington than Tom is. Tom, I think he's distracted. As I said on the pod, a week or so ago, I think he's just distracted with all he's got going on in his personal life. And with that, I don't think he retires after this year. I think he comes back because he has something to prove. You know how Tom is. He's always, he makes everything into a boogeyman. He takes things. He does the last dance. I took that personally. Um, so I definitely think he's still closer to competent as far as quarterback play. Aaron, on the other hand, I think his tank is running closer to empty. But neither one are at their peak level, or anywhere near their peak level. To answer the second question you asked.
Tom Brady just won the MVP last year.
No, Aaron won the MVP. He had back-to-back Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron won the MVP. Tom Brady should have won it. You're right. Aaron did win it.
I agree. Tom
What do you
should have.
think, Damien?
I'm going to give both quarterbacks the benefit of the doubt, and that's despite what I saw from Aaron Rodgers today. Um, both teams have injuries. Both teams, Aaron Rodgers and his young receiving core. You saw on the last play of the game when
Pedro's right.
the Packers were looking to try and go down and score. The receiver and Aaron Rodgers were on two different pages. Aaron Rodgers throws it towards the back of the end zone to an open space where he thought the receiver was going to be. The receivers getting jammed up by the defender, looking like what he was trying to do, a slant route. And those are just things that Aaron Rodgers hasn't had to deal with over the past several years. He is really missing Devontae Adams. It surprises me that, I mean, I know they tried to make moves to get a receiver, but it really surprises me that they did not get somebody in there for Aaron Rodgers. And as far as the Buccaneers go, like you said, Tom Brady in the year that he had last year, he still has an arm. He still can throw it 60, 50, 60 yards downfield when needed. He can still put it on the money. Tampa Bay, they can't over. This is the year they cannot overcome all the injuries that they're having. From Julio Jones, is he ever going to play a complete season in his career? To not having Gronkowski there, to the defense being in shambles like they are.
Don't forget
I
about
give
AB. Don't forget about AB. Don't have AB either. He
exactly,
he
exactly,
took
and
off
and
his
AB
shoulder
was in
pads and
safety net.
jersey and shirt and just he left for good. He left football.
Yeah, no, agreed. But and you factor in, the personal things that's going on with him off the field. Um, I think they both have it if they but they're not able to do it on their own like in years past. It does surprise me that Rodgers is not able to make the plays like we've seen in the past because I believed Aaron Rodgers could win with anybody. But clearly it's looking at that they're at a point in their career when they need their supporting cast to make plays for them. And that's not happening this year.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has been great for the last 6 or 7 years, but is it now? Is it because he had Devontae Adams? Devontae Adams looked real good for Derek Carr today in a losing effort.
Well, I mean,
Also,
if you're on the same page with a receiver, I mean, especially a good receiver, that can make you look a lot better than what you actually are. Now, I'm
hey,
not going to go out and say that Devontae may is the reason Aaron won back-to-back MVPs. I won't go that far, but if you watch that game today, it was a lot of plays in which Aaron and a receiver, whoever he was throwing to, just weren't on the same page. Like case in point, the game winning play.
that
Um,
was Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, he went in on the slant, and Aaron thought he was going to the corner, and just stuff like that. But again, I mean, it's not
But
always.
Green Bay to that point had what 9 points.
Yeah, no. Yeah, like I was going to say, it's not all miscommunications.
And
There are
Detroit has like the worst defense in the NFL.
the worst I've seen in years. So it's not all miscommunication. Some of it, he's throwing a lot of passes wide. He's throwing a lot of passes low and hitting the turf. It's not. I mean, it goes both ways. I think he is again closer to an empty tank than Tom is. But it is some of the stuff is he's not on the same page with receivers, which ain't their fault. He's the one that missed a lot of OTAs, missed a lot of time on the off season because he's older. He doesn't want to come into work. I get it. I don't want to do it either. But that type of stuff manifests
You're
itself over
you're
the
you're
season.
you're younger than
But
Aaron
for
Rodgers, aren't you?
No, we're the same age.
Okay. You don't like
but
going
for
to
both
work?
of them,
If I could
Hey,
not go to work,
I take this. I like Ellis Smith. I think when it's time, we will sign Pickens. Pickens is a beast. I pick Pickens up somehow on both my fantasy teams. I'm expecting a big second half from him because Chase Claypool is gone, and I think Pickens probably will transition to being the number one receiver, and Devontae Deontay Johnson is just a high paid number two. Jennifer commented a second ago talking about Aaron. He lives in Wisconsin, and Aaron Rodgers. She lives in Wisconsin. Aaron Rodgers, glad to see it. Um, I'm sure there's a lot of cheeseheads up there that's not glad to see it, but yeah, I'm with you.
we don't
I
care
mean,
about their opinion.
I think Aaron Rodgers he needed to be humbled. He needed to be humble on the field.
and I will say, watching the game, it did look like he was so frustrated. Some of those throws and some of the decisions he was making, it almost looked as if he was throwing his hands up in the air saying, "I give up."
Hey, so DJ2 is, I guess he's responding to my comment about I just asked the question, did Adams make Rodgers? But I will say, unlike, with Adams, he had receivers like James Jones and Jordy Nelson, right? And the other guy that's on Fox Sports One. Who am I talking about? Went to Central Michigan. He was he was number 85 when he played.
You
Greg
talking about
Jennings. Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings. He had the tight end Jermichael Finley. He's had a lot of pieces that's made him look good. And we talk about a quarterback like Ben Roethlisberger, who his receivers, like I make this Pittsburgh Steelers centric. But when receivers left Pittsburgh, they never were better than they were in Pittsburgh. That goes for whatever happened to Martavius Bryant, Antonio Brown. We see what's going on with Juju now, Santonio Holmes. There's a list of Emmanuel Sanders might be the only one, but he did go play with Peyton Manning and Drew Brees.
Juju
You
is
know,
starting to make a name, starting to look pretty good there in Kansas City.
Juju starting to look pretty good.
Yeah, he had
I'm
good
not
big
saying he's
plays
He
against
had a,
bad, but
Cincinnati.
he's not.
he
He's
had a
not. He's
couple of good
not.
games so far.
Yeah, he's
He's
not doing
patching up a couple
anything.
of them.
I bet he hasn't had 100-yard game this year. He's had like 8 catches for 75 yards. He makes those tough physical catches. I'm not saying he's not a good piece, but he's probably their number 3 receiver. Definitely, if you
But
include
I mean,
Kels.
that's just the way they line them up. They line them up in the slot. So I mean, it's a work in progress with their receivers over there. But to
Wow.
credit Damian, he has been putting up some good games as of late.
Look at this comment from DJ2 again. Do you guys agree?
I saw that comment and I don't know. I want to believe it just because of the Packers. Um,
I mean, I don't. Well, let me say this. I completely disagree. I mean, they drafted Christian Watson. I think he'll be a piece. Romeo Dobbs is a good young receiver. He has his buddy Randall Cobb. Sammy Watkins was a first round pick. Hasn't been good since he was in Buffalo. He was a decent second or third option like Juju for Kansas City, but it's not the worst assembled in the history of the NFL.
it might be a little sauce on that comment, But I mean, if it's true, I'm rolling with it. We don't care for the Packers too much over this side.
Yeah, the
Ellis is
Eagles have
right. That's
had some pretty mediocre receiving cores over the years too. Like many of the years, Donovan McNabb was at the helm.
they had To probably the second or
That's it.
third greatest
And
receiver all time.
we had him for we
For
had him
years.
for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
if To catch Jonathan McNabb in the street, he putting hands on him. To said it, not me.
Oh no! Oh no! I know that is something that never went away.
Okay. Pedro says Deontay Johnson is and will be number 1. I like Deontay Johnson. I mean, he played down in Tampa, Florida. My wife is from Tampa, Florida, and he went to college in Toledo. I'm from up by Toledo, and he's a Pittsburgh Steeler, so I root for Deontay Johnson. But hey, man, he dropped some balls. I mean, we'll see a lot more with the options limited even more with Claypool not being there. But he's on my fantasy team, so I hope I have him and Pickens. So I'm really trying to see which one is going to take over this second half. So Pay says I have too many Steelers on my team because I have.
And
I only
that's exactly why you in 12th place. I mean, you did it to yourself.
now what messed me up this year was when that computer glitch and I had like some important picks auto drafted. That just
We don't want to hear it, man.
that set
Us,
me in the wrong direction.
us teams in the playoffs and the playoff picture, we don't want to hear all that, man.
Yeah, and even more of an anomaly is Damien. I think is in second or third place, and he's usually back in this 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th place.
You hear that?
It's
You hear
like
that, Damien? You hear that? Misery loves company.
Oh
You
yeah.
hear that, man?
Oh no, I understand. He's reeling from what Mixon did to him today, and it's bringing back memories from Week 1 when Tariq Hill had the game of the year against him also. So
week 1. I got my only win of the season against Pay, so it wasn't week 1.
okay, it
Fluke,
was Week 2
obviously.
then. It was Week 2.
Hurt people, hurt
It was
people. That's all I'm hearing, man.
Hurt people, hurt people. Okay, well, Jennifer
exactly,
said,
Jennifer.
okay. Well, I guess we'll see tonight because
That's right.
Kelsey will always be.
if Juju's such the favorite, so good, why they trade for Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants?
Because he was available. That's what do you call it? Low risk, high reward. One of those situations.
Okay,
What they give up, a 6th-round pick for him?
Yep.
And you see, he wasn't playing. It wasn't that. I don't think it was a health thing. They just weren't playing him in New York. So if they get him on their wave list,
shout out Pedro to the 419.
they get Kadarius Toney on they wavelength over there in Kansas City. That could be a dangerous,
Yeah, well,
Wasn't he?
that's why they traded for him because he's the closest thing to Tyreek Hill that they had an opportunity to get.
Wasn't
Yeah,
he coming off? Isn't he coming off a hamstring injury?
He ain't had no hamstring injury. He just
he's
didn't
been
want to play for the Giants
he's had this same hamstring injury since mid last season.
because he didn't
So
want to play for the Giants.
yeah, I just don't. I just think it was a situation between him and Dayball. They just they just ain't click. So it was new scenery maybe help him out. He's
And
got
let me
talent as you
clarify.
saying it.
And let me clarify. Kelsey is Mahomes' number one go-to. He is his favorite target. Miko Hardman is there to take the top off, but Juju, he's the one that's going. He's the one that's going over the middle. He's the one that
Kels,
Let me
Mahomes
let
is
me let me,
trusting.
let me, let me add to that.
Kels,
That's
Valdez,
why
Scantling.
that's why they traded for Tony because Miko Hardman ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be the one that's taking the top off, as we say, taking the top off of the defense and stretch, making the underneath stuff more open. But he's not being productive enough. That's why they wouldn't got Tony.
Man, Pay, what Claude said, that's a low blow. What you said that was a low blow, man?
I probably just called you 12, as you are in the standings. That's probably what it was. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I know you enjoying this, but it's
Oh,
since
it's
the
because you got all those Steelers on your roster. That's why. That's why.
but I really just got Pickens. I got Deontay Johnson. I got T.J. Watt, who I've been holding, for my defensive player, and I got the Steelers defense, who I actually cut because they're on bye. I had to make it one of those decisions too, and I picked up the Vikings defense, who didn't do anything. I could have just left the Steelers in on the bye and would have been just as good.
You did it to yourself.
Hey man,
Hey man. Hey, look. Hey.
shut up,
Hey.
man.
You cheddar
That
bogged, man.
Steelers,
It's all
that
right,
Steelers,
man.
that Steelers D will be back fantasy wise
Next
when
year.
Watt gets healthy.
Next year.
Yeah, after the bye. Yep. And you know what? I'm picking my defense back up, and y'all can't stop me because I'm in 12th place, so I got the first waiver priority.
You've had the first waiver priority all season.
Man, you got some jokes. That's a low blow, Pay.
Just like Claude said, right?
Yeah, that's why I said that is a low blow. But go ahead and make your jokes while I'm down because we know since our 7-8 year inception of this league that we're all in, I'm the only 2-time winner. So that's all I'm gonna say.
For
And I
now.
usually am in the playoffs every year. So you guys cool.
Yeah,
But
you
now I want to ask this question. We got about 15 minutes. I want to ask this question. Anybody in the live chat can chime in with what you think. But what are you guys, as of right now at the mid-season point, who's your MVP and what's your playoff predict? I mean, your Super Bowl prediction.
MVP, Jalen Hurts.
Woo, hot take. That's not a hot take, but I got Jalen Hurts in the top 3, but I might would say Jalen Hurts though.
I would have said Josh Allen going into today, but just they lost. Allen, he had those 2 bad picks. Jalen Hurst, 3 turnovers all year long, and he is the cog that is making everything go. My Super Bowl prediction is Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
I see it. You ain't gotta highlight it. I saw it.
Hey
I'm gonna do remix your question for a little bit. Instead of making the
man, wait. Who are you to remix my question?
hey, I got something I want to hit on.
Okay.
So, you asked earlier what we thought about the 1 o'clock games. Instead of the MVP pick, I've got a defensive player of the year pick. And I want to shout out Mac Judon for New England. His last month has been unbelievable. He had 3 sacks today. And I just think that him and DPOY is a collision course. But to answer your question, I have a dark horse in this race. I got Christian McCaffrey maybe sneaking into the MVP discussion. That trade to San Francisco is going to rejuvenate his career. He's not long in the tooth. He's only 26, I believe.
26.
Yeah,
26.
26. And that offense is tailor made for somebody like him. So, if they get on the run like I think they can, look at this. Gino. They get on the run like I think they can. I think he can sneak into that MVP conversation.
And your Super Bowl prediction?
Let's see. Super Bowl. So the way it's stacking up right now, Philly is all road is gonna lead through Philly. Um so yeah, I can't pick anybody else out of the NFC other than Philly. So because going to Philadelphia in January is not gonna be easy at all, especially against that defense.
Hey, pay. Wait, I got a question right there. I want you to answer.
They want to talk to you, man. You the Cavs fan. You the
Oh,
Cavs
you answered it for me. Okay. Yeah. Great 103. Yeah, I'm definitely a Cavs fan, man. I know they on right now against the Lakers, but because we doing this, I watched it till halftime. We were down 6, so I don't know what's happening now. But we look super good. Just to put some basketball into our football conversation. Definitely a Cavs fan, man.
fan. Out of the AFC, I'm thinking the AFC is going to be rough. I still think it's Buffalo's to lose. However, if you listen to the pod that we dropped yesterday, Baltimore is my pick to come out of the AFC just because of that trade they made to get my man Roquan. That's going to shore up their defense because it's been a sore spot this so far this season. How they blew some of them leads. That's my pick. That's my pick to come out the AFC. Baltimore is going to turn around and do something crazy second half of this season.
So you got Baltimore and Philly.
Baltimore, Philly,
I
turn it up.
like that, man. I like that one. I like that one more than Buffalo. I think Kansas City or Baltimore can beat Buffalo.
Battle of the
Um,
Birds.
yeah, I'd say my MVP as of right now, man. After just rehashing everything in my mind real quick, man, I'd have to say it is Jalen Hurts as of right now at the midway point. Philly being my representative from the NFC and my AFC representative, man, it's gonna be between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, Kansas City and Baltimore. So as of right now, you can't tell which one of those teams would have home field advantage, but I'm gonna pick Mahomes because I like Andy Reid over Harbaugh. Harbaugh's a great coach, but he does stupid stuff. So he'll do something stupid that'll cause Baltimore to get into the Super Bowl. So I got Kansas City first Philly. Isn't that what you said, Damien?
Yeah, and Mahomes is also that that good. I won't ever disrespect Mahomes anymore until he just has a lull that last a season.
Jennifer is rubbing it in for me. She said, man, the Bengals scored some points today. They did, and Joe Mixon scored almost all of them. And I played against them in fantasy football this week. So
I
yeah.
could. They couldn't kick any field goals for me, man. I needed that.
You had the Bengals kicker?
Yeah, I got Evan McPherson. He just, all
Well
they did
you
was trot him out there and get extra points, man.
well, you got about 6 or 7 of them. That's decent.
I mean,
And
if they was gonna score that much, man, let us all
Wait, wait, wait,
taste.
wait, 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 wait.
well,
They won. The Cavs won.
Yeah, the Cavs won 100. They beat the Lakers, man. Don't celebrate too hard.
Man, that's 8 wins in a row, though. I mean, I don't care what you talking about.
All right, celebrate hard
the
then.
yeah, I watched that game. The Bengals made a concerted effort to run the ball, and Mixon, man, he lit it up. But I think he had like 89, 90 rushing yards in the first half alone on um, 13, 14 attempts. So they were making a concerted effort to run the ball. And well, you know, Carolina, they're in the turmoil they're
So
in right now.
great 103 says either Mahomes, Allen, or maybe Hurts. Yeah, we all know that. You just took a whole bunch of them, man. Pick one. Stick your chest out and pick one. Okay, Pedro says the Bills versus the 49ers. You know what? I kind of forgot about the 49ers. I think that's the Eagles' biggest competition when the 49ers get back healthy. I like the 49ers too because they both them and the Eagles, and Dallas, as far as the NFC team goes, play with physicality.
We're talking about the playoffs, right?
Wait, that's the Super Bowl pick.
Okay, so we can discount Dallas all the way out right now. We ain't worried about them come when the calendar turns to January. Let's go ahead and push them out the way.
Hey, Claude said the Redbirds, the Cardinals, I guess.
Uh,
Oh
the
wait, the Ratbirds. No,
Ratbirds.
Ratbirds. He talking
He,
about the Ravens.
he's calling
I,
the Ravens some
so
pigeons. That's exactly what he did.
what's the score of the Cardinal game right now?
Cardinals they just picked six Geno and they're up
It's
14-10.
14-10.
Man, it's a lot of low scoring NFL games this year, man.
It's the
We're in
under. You gotta
November.
hit the under. You gotta hit the under.
Speaking of hitting the under, how you doing with your Pays parlay this week, man?
I'm glad you mentioned that. As of right now, I'm 2-0. I just need the Titans to cover tonight, and we're gonna hit that parlay, buddy.
Man, something must be wrong with George Teston.
Never.
Nobody likes the way Pay thinks.
He understands. He understands right when you see it.
But no. So you were talking about your parlay. So is Tannehill playing tonight, or is it Malik Willis?
You know what? I don't even know, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they're the same team regardless of who's on the center.
You're
You know,
right.
I
You're
mean,
right. They're not winning on the arm of the quarterback play.
no, because I mean, the receivers. Who cares about the receivers? Are nobodies. They're not catching the ball regardless if Mark Willis is throwing the ball or Tannehill's throwing the ball. I mean, it's whatever. They're the same team regardless.
Right, and it's all about how Derrick Henry goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right, Mark. Defenses are starting to catch up. I kind of think part of it though is also something to do with the preseason. Everybody want to sit everybody till all late, give them one series of reps. Then when they come play the real deal, I think everybody's just not caught up yet. Defenses are playing better though. They are playing better.
Dude, the Steelers draft a quarterback in 2023.
Tyrone Johnson, good question, man. What do you guys think? I think this. If the Steelers, I like Kenny Pickett, man. But I think if you can get CJ Stroud, get CJ Stroud.
Come on now.
Come on, what?
I don't think that
depends on.
I don't think that's in any, the realm of possibility that they even entertain that. Now things can change in the second half of the season. I mean, he's out. Kenny Pickett's out there auditioning for the job. They spent the first round pick on him already, so they're going to give him the opportunity to show improve.
But if Kenny Pickett is bad and we're bad, and I like Kenny Pickett, and you can get that top overall quarterback in the draft at like a top 10 quarterback. Kenny Pickett was number 20. Mm-hmm. You go that direction. You trade Kenny Pickett for what you can get for him, much like the Cardinals did with Josh Rosen. Kenny Pickett's no Josh Rosen, but it's been done before.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't see that Steelers organization do anything like that. Because I remember coming into the season, everybody was talking about Kenny Pickett's arm is strong and he can make all the throws. Now, as Tyrone is saying right there in the chat, his arm is weak as a kitten. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't even understand this strong arm quarterback stuff. I don't, if I let the analysts and the experts tell you, who's got a strong arm, who's got a weak arm. I don't know.
Says no new QB.
Yeah, I agree.
Kenny Pickett can make the throws.
I think he can. I mean, and they said Deshaun Watson had a weak arm when he was coming into the league, and we all know he works his arm out in the offseason. So I mean, I can't call it.
It really just depends on who's
Pick's arm weak as a kitten. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that weak, man. I mean, he can make all the prerequisite throws, necessary throws. He can throw the out, he can throw the post. Probably can't throw it like Josh Allen 75 yards downfield, but he can throw it 60 yards downfield.
Can he throw it to the right color jersey? That's what you need to know.
He definitely can do that. I mean, man, a lot of his picks aren't picks I really consider bad picks. I mean, the one against Miami, it was a mix up between him and Deontay Johnson. He was driving them down the field for the winning score. He had one in a Hail Mary, one off your boy Chase Claypool's hands he should have caught. One he overthrew Pat Fryermuth too high. He tipped it and the guy
Claypool,
caught it.
Claypool not catching the ball, huh? Where have I heard that before?
He's a rookie, and right now as a rookie, he is clearly the best quarterback in Pittsburgh. Look at Tua Tagovailoa in his rookie year compared to how he looked just even today.
To a
Give Pickett
ball.
a chance. Exactly. Give Pickett a chance to grow. Give him a
He
chance
was
to
okay.
master the offense. Give him a
But
chance to get a rhythm with his receivers. Give Pittsburgh a chance to build an offensive line to where he can have an established running game and you can play Pittsburgh football and he can learn and grow in that aspect. I like Pickens because he's not afraid to put his head down. He's not afraid to get physical. He will stand in there and deliver the ball and take a shot right to the chest and get up cheering. You gotta love those qualities if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
I agree. I agree. But if you got the number one overall pick, it becomes a discussion. But
Okay.
because we're going to go 7-2 in the second half, you only got to worry about it.
And that's
Agreed.
and that's and that's
Exactly.
true. It is
I
it is
think
about it is about what you can get with your pick and availability,
I
And
think
I
they
do
do
not believe
eventually.
Pittsburgh's going to be.
I think they
I'm
get
sorry. Go
one
ahead,
later on in the draft. I don't think it's one that's going to like obviously challenge Kenny's QB1 status. They might get one later on in like the fifth or later rounds. I mean that's not outside of the realm of possibility. But somebody's going to like come into camp and
Wow.
challenges. Whoa, what? You all can handle that. I don't. You all can handle that. I think I've been pretty emphatic about where
Marcus, and he definitely is the best quarterback on the
I, I
roster.
I think I've been pretty emphatic about who on that roster is a terrible quarterback, and
Yeah,
I
you
don't
live
think
you
anybody I
you
don't think
you
anybody's going to say Rudolph is better than
you
Kenny.
lived through Mitch for 4 years in Chicago. We lived through him for 3.5 games, and I'm already convinced he's a quality backup. He's not your guy. Kenny's definitely the best quarterback on the roster as we
He
stand here
right,
today.
right.
Mitch
Mitch's biggest
Trubisky.
problem is he is afraid to play ball. He is afraid to throw to a receiver he knows he can probably get to because he's afraid of creating a turnover, creating anything negative about him, and he's
Wow.
he's playing scared.
What's your
Mitch
take?
should never hold a football ever again. He should only have his hands on a clipboard.
Well, if he has to come in because somebody got hurt, he got to play.
Put
But
somebody in the stands in the game.
real quick before we get out of here? What's your take? What's your guys' take on Mason Rudolph?
Um, I don't understand. I mean, I
Well,
get I get I get Mason Rudolph.
somebody in the live chat said Mason Rudolph slings it
I
better.
I saw that and I thought it was just like a joke.
Yeah, Mason's scared to sling it. He can throw a good deep ball, but he get happy feet in the pocket. He can't really get out the pocket well. So in our offense, he don't operate that well. And he's trigger shy. He's more trigger shy than Mitch.
That's It sounds like y'all got a terrible quarterback room then.
No, we actually got a competent quarterback room. I mean, as a threesome. I mean, our rookie being our best guy, but I mean, Mitch would be a top 10 backup in the league.
What is that?
You know
What's
what
that
you've
worth?
got.
Nothing,
You
but it's
know
a
what
top
you've
10
got with
backup.
Mitch. You know what you've got with Mitch. Let the rookie grow. Give him a couple years within the system with Mike Tomlin, and you're gonna like what you see.
I agree with you.
Mitch is terrible.
Well, Ian Marcus 39 seemed to think Mason is better than Kenny. So
Put
I
him
don't know
back
what
in
he
the game.
thinks about him.
Put Mitch back in the game. You haven't seen enough. Go ahead and put him back in
If
the
you
game.
if you put Mitch back in the game, we will be looking at a potential number 1 overall pick in the draft this year. We will. I like Will Anderson. If we have a high first round pick, I like Will Anderson opposite TJ to be that third edge rusher with Highsmith and TJ. I mean, but I don't know if we'll get him because, like I keep saying, we're gonna go 7-2, so we're not gonna be picking the top 10. We're picking about 14 or 15 somewhere in there, I think. But anyway, guys, it's about that time. We've been in here for about 55 minutes. We're gonna keep it under an hour. We're gonna get up and get out of here. But before we go, I want to know if you guys have any parting shots or anything you want to say. We'd like to thank everybody in the live chat for joining us. It's been really fun. George Teston, nobody likes the way Pay thinks, though. You remember that. We deal with Pay all the time. And I mean, nobody likes the way he thinks. But you guys got anything to say before you get out of here?
Geniuses aren't understood until they're gone. George Tesson, he got it. He understands it.
I'll just say thanks for having me. It's been fun. Some of the opinions have been real interesting.
Thanks, man. Thanks for joining us, man. You know, this is like I believe your third time joining us.
Yes,
And
it
you
is
all,
number 3.
I mean, you always impart some good football knowledge when you're here, man. So we certainly appreciate having you.
Thank
Pay,
you.
is that what you really had to say about the thing about geniuses? Are you done?
Everybody, check us out. We appreciate you all coming to see us today after because the Steelers were on bye. But check us out on the pod for the BTSC on the BTSC channel. Our episode drops every Saturday afternoon. Come see us. We got it's always a fun time.
It is, man. And shout out to B Dirt. We miss B Dirt. And we're gonna get ready to get out of here, man. Just want to thank everybody for joining us again. Thanks for watching this episode of We Run the North while we're filling in for the post game show. But like Pay said, check us out Saturdays at noon on the audio version. Check out all the Steeler content that you can get on YouTube here. Tomorrow, Monday, is the Hangover with Brian Anthony Davis, Shannon White, Tony Defio. Tuesday's the Scobro Show. Wednesday's Know Your Enemy with Jeffrey Benedict. Thursday's the preview show. Friday, the Six Pack with Tony Defio and the boys down under in Australia. Mark. Just all the different shows, all the audio shows. The Let's Ride podcast, our podcast, We Run the North. Brian Anthony Davis has this show on there. Dave Schofield, the Stat Geek. Just check out all the different shows. This is your one-stop for all Steeler information, your one-stop shop for anything Steelers. So right now, I'm about to get off here. I'm about to go join my Know It All podcast. We would love for you guys to come check us out. You check out Pay making some ridiculous comment in a live chat on that show most days. Damian makes sensible comments because he's a strategic thinker. So maybe if George Tesson said if everybody thought like Damian, but not Payday. But check out that podcast. Like right now, about 10 minutes. The Know It Alls on YouTube. Just type it up, check it out. We love to have you. We're gonna talk about more football, probably the World Series, probably talk about some basketball, just everything sports related and everything else. So we're about to get out of here. Pay, what's your thing you end all our audio podcasts with, man?
Arrest Brett Favre today.
And we out. Peace.